In another of the early chapters of Life is Fighting, you reflect back on an encounter that you had with Eddie Guerrero. And, it's unbelievable to me that we're now coming up on 20 years since the wrestling world lost Eddie. How did that time with Eddie change your life and shape your perspective when you became a wrestling superstar years later, in terms of how to kind of interact with fans and, be around others that looked up to you?
So when I saw Eddie, because I'd seen wrestlers all day, I kind of just charged up to him and started talking to him at the bar. But then when I actually had the realization I was talking to Eddie Guerrero, I remember I had this confidence to just talk to him in the beginning. But then after 25 or 30 seconds in, when I'm making direct eye contact with Eddie, and I'm realizing as our eyes are locked that I'm talking to Eddie Guerrero, I was like, whoa, wait a minute. It was the equivalent of talking to Sylvester Stallone, or, you know what I mean? Or Arnold Schwarzenegger, or a movie star. Yeah. And then I realized I kind of went into shock. Eddie kind of carried the conversation. I was just answering his questions. And I left that conversation feeling even though we didn't talk about anything at all of great substance, the fact that he was just so cool to talk to me, and so casually, that's the kind of thing where as you get older in life and you go through your own life experiences, you look back at that, like a lot of stories I wrote in the book, and you begin to feel differently about it. And as I've gotten older, I've just always thought that was so cool to do that for a young kid. He could have, not in a mean way, but I mean, he could have politely shooed me away. Hey, would you like to get a picture? Would you like an autograph? Hey, nice to meet you. Have a good day. He didn't do that. He sat there and he talked to me for quite a long time, all different kinds of subjects, trivial stuff like entertainment and comics and stuff. And I just can't, I couldn't believe it. So I've tried to extend, provided I wasn't, getting on an early flight or something, or moving through the airport. If I meet people, I always give them the time of day, unless I'm having to catch a flight, or I'm running to an Uber. But I tried to be the same way. I thought that was a good example to set.
Yeah, because of course there's that realization that you are now that larger than life character to other people who've watched you through a television screen. You are now that superstar to them, and it's remembering, isn't it? I guess paying it forward in terms of what you've encountered when you're younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.